Hey, it's Kristen with Collision Hub, and we're going to do cool tools this time, a little bit different. Tim, thanks for joining us in Arkansas to talk about everything Collision Edge has. So we've had Collision Edge in the shop now for about 2 years. We've been working with it with all of our shops we consult for the estimators. But I think as I watch online, there's still a little misconceptions about some of your products. So who better to explain why we use them than you? So let's go through the Collision Edge arsenal, so to speak.
Awesome. So I guess we'll start with the tools for estimating. Those are the things that make you money as opposed to save you money.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Dent Viewer. We have two sizes of the Dent Viewer and the Dent Viewer XL. And the estimating kit has all the rulers in it to do your blends, to do your emblem locations, all that kind of stuff. So these are available. They work really well.
Yeah, these have been great for our shop, so I know we're going to show a little bit more about what this thing does. But even from the blend stick down to being able to show, so I'll give you that there. So the blend stick, we can use it to show what we're doing for blending. Also, feather prime and block. This is really good when you're doing dents to show that. If I've got something on the panel, and I'm trying to get a good picture to show how large that dent actually looks, because sometimes showing size of damage in photos is hard to do. Hey, why is that an 8-hour dent versus a 4 or whatever? Then a lot of times I can slap that ruler on there along with my Dent Viewer board. Now I can see the damage, but I can also see how large the damage is. Hey, that's a 12-inch crease or that's a whatever. And putting those two together has cut down on a lot of the phone calls, or I'd say a lot of the slicing and dicing, as I like to call it, that the in-house claims units like to do on what you watch. So those things together have been really well. And then now you've got a new ruler out that I haven't even seen yet. I don't have in the shop. What's that one?
Yeah, so we actually invented this at SEMA last year. Had a guy come up to me and he goes, "I love your rulers." He goes, "I'm a wrap guy, like does the vinyl wrap and stuff."
Yeah.
You know, got a lot of guys do layouts on hoods where they do the stripes and whatever. And so we made this thing called a centerline stick. Basically what it is, it's a ruler that's 48 inches long, and it's got a center point, and it counts out from the center out. So you can lay a stripe out. You lay it on the hood, you find the center, you go the 8 and the 8, you mark it, and it lays your stripe out. So a lot of the guys are using that in the custom world. A lot of the wrap guys are starting to use it because it helps them do layouts, and it's just super simple. You don't have to do math. You don't have to think. You just throw it up there. So centerline stick's been really good too.
Anytime I don't have to do math, man, I'm in.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yep.
Let's talk a little bit more about the Dent Viewer board, because this actually is how you and I met.
Absolutely.
Because I had
we got in a fight, didn't we?
We got in a fight.
On social media.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so you can come back from a fight with me on Facebook.
Yes,
it does
you
happen.
can. Yes, you can.
So for years in the insurance industry, we were always looking for ways to capture damage, but cheaply. And so we were using egg crate fluorescent light covers. I could go put electrical tape on them, kind of make my lines, and have a cheapie in the parking lot way for $20 to do a dent viewer. But you were like, no, you got to try my board. So we did. And this is great. So explain the board a little bit, because I think people get confused.
I've actually won an argument with you, Chris.
Yeah, well, so you've won, and so has Claire from StatGun. But other than that, so I have lost 2 arguments.
You made me a believer in that, too.
Yeah, I've lost 2 arguments in my life.
So we started out, actually, you know, as a distributor rep, I believe our job is to solve problems for customers, right? So I started out with my buddies and in the shops, and I was standing with a guy one day, and he's standing with the camera, and he's sealing a lot like this. And he's holding the camera and he's moving it around. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to get the ceiling grids in the picture." And I went, "Why?" He said, "I can't show the damage, I can't get paid." And I went, that night I went home and I made the first Dent Viewer. So anyway, we've got some special stuff in here. This is not just a white reflective board. This board has a conspicuity film on it, like a stop sign, so it grabs the camera flash. That's the biggest piece that people don't understand, is if you use the flash for this, especially indoor photography, dark colors, it makes an amazing photo. We'll show you some images of that, hopefully here, throw them up there. But anyway, so we've got 2 sides, and most guys don't understand the use. So when I first made this, I made the first side, it was just a whiteboard. It worked pretty good, but the reflective backing made it even better. And we sold it, and it was good, but I had a guy call me one day and says, "Hey, I got a light colored car, and I couldn't get the photo I wanted. It really made me mad." So we added the back. I got yelled at for this because it increased the cost, but it was the right thing to do. So we added the back, which is the inverse of the front, and this works in a lot of times in outside bright colors or inside with certain colors. You'll just pick the one that works the best. There's a lot of misconception about how to use a dent viewer. I mean, I've had guys lay them on the car flat, buy the dent and take a picture, and I'm like, how does that make sense, right? So you're not really taking a picture of the board. And I had some really cool guys at SEMA that have followed us for a long time. And they says, man, can you just show me that? And I said, wow, somebody apparently doesn't understand how to do this, so I want to make sure they understand. The goal is that you're taking a picture of the reflection of the board, not the board. The board never goes into photo. So if I'm standing here, I have the camera is going to shoot at an angle like this. It's going to bounce off the panel, hit this, the light hits this, and it shines that grid back across the panel. So that's how that works. A lot of guys don't get it. We actually, on the new ones, we've got a little infographic that shows the angles and how that comes together.
And so it works, and I will say that the reflective material does make a huge difference. So it definitely beat my homemade egg crate cover with tape on it. So, or when I spray painted one black and then I would put white tape on it. So,
Yeah.
you know, whatever works, but this was definitely better. So a couple of ways that we use it that are our shops, I want to say, because we don't write estimates every day here, but a couple ways our shops are using is a little couple pieces of Velcro. This goes really great on the back of a clipboard. It's lightweight, it's easy. There's some iPad apps and some other things out there, but that's just another something I got to carry with me.
Right.
Or it's an app I got to change over to try to take a picture, then to try to go back into my estimating system. So the electronic versions, we found them to be a little cumbersome to use. But a little bit of Velcro, so you can go back on the back of my clipboard that I can have out there as an estimator, and I can have my clipboard, I can have my tablet or my laptop, whatever I'm writing the estimate with. I can also put what you're really good at with your magnet and your can things. I can put a few magnets on it, and so these also can just rest on the side of my cabinet. So my blueprinting station or whatever, and I can grab and go. Or some people are just putting them in magazine folders and having them. So it's light and it's easy. It's easy to use. It's easy to hold. It's not cumbersome thing holding an iPad and trying to take a picture. So lots there. But then, wait, there's more. This wasn't good enough, so you built this.
Yeah, this is the XL. So we had guys immediately that goes, can I get a bigger one? And I went, well, I mean, I don't know, I guess. So we're actually making these right in our little barn in Georgia. Works out really well. It's the same version, scaled to be bigger because it's designed to take a picture from a further away back. Actually, the way it's built, and a lot of guys don't know this, it will tip on its own axis and hold its position. So you can stand here and take your photo, your 45, down to the board. So that's why we made it that way. So yeah, we have that available as well, and we've actually got another couple of options coming out for you guys too that you can look out for.
Yeah, so these are great for large panels, quarters, bedsides, good for B-pillars, like a lot of deformity in B-pillars or C-pillars, etc., because it will hold itself. So if I'm trying to show deformity across a large area, the little board's hard. This works great. A little bit of practice on this one.
And it's all about the angles. I mean, with this board right here, I put a picture out on social media a couple of weeks ago of the side of my truck. And this board was on the very end of the truck, and I walked all the way to the other end, and I stood there and took a picture. But the right angle, this thing will shine down the whole side of the vehicle. So it's great for inspections because all those guys that come into your shop to get a car fixed, there's a little dent in the quarter panel. You're going to fix it for free if you don't catch it ahead of time because they're going to, that wasn't there before. I've seen it happen time and time again. And the very first time in jobs when you make as little money as you make fixing a car that you have to redo something, you've lost money, it doesn't make any sense. And that's the beautiful thing about our products is everything we make pays for itself within the first time you use it.
Yeah.
Right? Everything we make. So like our stuff is a no-brainer. And it has to be because I invented it. I'm not that smart a guy. All we've done is we've tried to solve problems for customers, and the body shops are full of them.
Yep, problems. The body shops are full of problems. Yeah,
right? So,
every day. So with hail season upon us, I think these two things, whether you have an external PDR company that's going to come in and work with yours at your shop, or you actually keep a full-time PDR person in your shop, documenting damage in hail season is where a lot of people get started with these, and then they figure out how to put them into their normal workload.
Well, the PDR people love this actually because they can get a good accurate picture of the dent before they even go to the place. They can give them an estimate over the phone because they have a good accurate dent. Without a good picture of the dent, you can't do anything, guys.
Yep,
Right?
nope,
So.
exactly. But now you've also got another tool for estimating that came out, and those were the kind of the Mark Safe arrows.
Yep.
So we had a lot of problems, whether people want to kind of admit them or not, but marking on panels is an issue.
Yep.
Right? Especially if the customer's coming in, maybe you are one of those shops that's still doing drive-through estimates and releasing and going, well, I can't ride on the car and let the customer drive away with my writing all around them. And then in some cases, those pins over time can do damage to the paint or can get in creases, and it makes your cleanup time a lot more. So you came out with these.
Well, being with customers, and seeing the problems, especially being a paint guy, I've seen it all. I've had guys that go, well, what color pen should I use to write on the car? Because the red seems to stain and the pink seems to be better and whatever. I'm like, no, the problem is you're writing on the car. So I'm not telling you to stop writing on cars, but I am telling you not to write on sensitive surfaces. If you've got raw plastics, textured parts, low gloss parts, things of that nature.
Glass,
Don't
don't
write on them. The very first time, and I saw this too when I got my car repaired, I'm driving down the road and at night I'm driving down and I can see the grid that the guy wrote on the windshield, right? And I'm going, wow, that's crazy, you can still see that. A chip, any kind of rock chip in the glass, any kind of rock chip in the paint, when you mark over it, you've now made a tattoo that has to be, you got to fix it, right? If the customer sees it, especially on high-end cars, right?
Can increase your buffing in those instances
absolutely.
where you write on the paint. So you've got 3 colors of these, right? The Mark Safe come in 3 colors?
And we did it red, yellow, and green, kind of following the whole, stop, start, and maybe.
Yeah.
Right. And you write on with a Sharpie, and then you just stick them on the car. One thing I'll tell you is you want to, if when you put them on, if you'll fold one of the corners over, when you put it on there, it'll be easier to pick off later.
And they'll stay on. I mean, we've had them on here in the shop that they've lasted for months on the car.
Yeah, this is an easy release vinyl. So it's a super easy release vinyl. So it comes off clean, doesn't leave any adhesive transfer. It works really well.
Now, if you'll change me out there, Tim, on your tape caddy, that's how I use them and wear them. So here at the shop, what we do a lot.
This is not doo-doo.
What we do a lot is actually post-repair inspections.
Right.
So more than repairs that are here. And those are 2 phases for us. The first phase is when the customer comes by and goes, hey, do I have a problem? You're not tearing their car down. You're not going too invasive with them. And we use those to mark damage or indicators and write on them and take our photos and then let the customer decide whether they want to go to the teardown stage for a post-repair inspection. But also in an estimate. That's how I carry them around. So people go, how do you keep up with those and
yeah, it's
do
not
it?
really hard.
Yep, just 2 on a 2-inch and then we're off to go, right?
Then I have a 1-inch as well. You
Yeah.
can put, but usually the red and the green's the only 2 you use. Most of the time yellow is I don't know.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's pretty simple what.
And write on them with a Sharpie if I need to give an extra note.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So let's go to I think what everybody got to know you best by, which is that tape caddy.
Yeah.
And the tape thing.
Yeah.
So Tim, isn't that just a gimmick to sell?
Well, a lot of people think it is, right? You would not believe the people, the haters that come out on Facebook when they see, last week when they see somebody stuck a roll of tape to the side of a car. Let's go scratch the car. Okay, don't put it on a finished panel.
Yeah.
Right. If it's on a blend panel, you're all good.
Yeah.
Right. Or we've built it. We spent a lot of time. Believe it or not, I do think about a lot of stuff. It's pretty crazy. Developing these pads and how they work, and it does a really good job. Lots and lots of thought. This is like version 3, and I've got version 4 in the works already. It's painful, but
yeah.
it's like a disease.
Well, I always get tickled about the people that say, I think it's going to damage the car, because when I see wide views of their shop, nothing's taped off. The interiors are exposed. Dust is going everywhere. Their lunch is on the truck. The estimator's got his laptop sitting on the hood. And I'm like, really? We're worried about the paint now.
Yeah.
But then the tape thing wasn't enough, so you had to make the caddy.
Yeah, so the tape thing, we made the original ones in 3/4, 1.5 inches, and then right away, guys goes, we do have 2 inch, and well, might as well make 1 inch. So we have all the sizes of tape things from 3/4, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and 2 inch in the standard. And actually, the fine lines came along a little later because they were built a little different. But the fine lines are amazing because the one biggest piece that guys don't get about this, it's not really about, nobody understands how hard tape is on your hand. When you pull this, that just hurts. I mean, and after a while, you'll start saying, man, I got calluses on my hands. I can't figure this out. Guys never get the tape thing until they do this the first time and they go, what just happened, right? And so we made the tape thing, and immediately the guy goes, well, I work on aluminum cars. That won't work on the F-150. You're right. If I had aluminum magnets, then I would be retired right now. So anyway, we put a lot of thought into this. Actually, our patent just issued, so we're super excited about that. There's a little edge on the tape thing down at the bottom as part of our patent that the tape edge, the tape core edge rides on. What that does is it stops the tape from touching anywhere.
Right. Gives you that free spin.
Super clean, no dirt, no damaged edges, all that.
Yeah.
Now the Caddy, I get a lot of questions about the Caddy because guys think I might have been on drugs when I made it.
Well,
there's a lot of features
I was going to
here,
ask, Tim.
Right? There's a lot of features here. So what we did is we stood and we watched preppers work. I know for a fact that preppers carry a razor blade in their mouth or behind their ear. I know that they have sandpaper scuff pads. I know they have the illegal blowers, the little 2 things screwed together, or maybe some other form of blower, we'll be official here.
Uh.
But they carry all these things around with them. They're all in their pockets. They're always having to dig around and look. So the Caddy has several features. The little hooks on the side, you can snap a rag in that. You can snap a scuff pad in that. They flex a little bit. It comes in really nice. Also, so we've got 2 magnets, and most guys don't know how the magnets work, but the razor blade actually goes on this bottom magnet right here. So it slides in, it sticks, and it won't fall out. Razor blade's a $5,000 OSHA fine if they find one on the floor. Can you imagine how many shops have 1,000 razor blades on the floor?
And in the drain gutters, and yeah.
They're everywhere, right? Because shops just eat razor blades. I don't know, they grab one, use it, and I've even had guys throw them at the walls, and it's great. So anyway, the Velcro strip is for temporarily holding things like scuff pads and sandpaper. So I'll show you here. So this is the Velcro strip. If I'm sanding and using this, I can just slap it on there, and it's really meant to be an extra hand, so I'm not just throwing it on the floor, because abrasives are 10% of a shop's purchases, and half the waste comes from what just happened right there.
Right.
So it just keeps it on your hand, keeps it all together, holds your razor blade, sandpaper, scuff pad. You know, if you guys come up with something else, I'll make another reason to put something else on it. But
could it have a lunch tray?
it could have a lunch tray. You know, we could do we get a cell phone holder, whatever
Coffee.
you guys want.
That would be.
The
If
thing
it could
is-
carry my Keurig, that would rock.
The thing is we are just, it's a disease. We're addicted to solving problems for customers, and we're going to keep doing it for as long as we can do it.
Yeah. Well, you know, and the thing for this for me is like I said, for me it's just pure ease of use.
Yep.
If I'm taping, great. It also saves me money,
Right.
because now I'm actually using more tape than I did before. So you get a lot of those pictures people are posting with nothing but cores.
Yeah, I love it.
So
When's the last time you've seen an empty tape core? Right?
Exactly.
These guys got whole buckets full of them.
Yeah, I'm not having to wear tape bracelets anymore, which gets in the way of a lot of stuff. And then I'm not losing rolls because they're on the floor, they're getting wet, dirty, they're getting, you know, driven over, all the other things. So it does save me money there. But then it's just so dang convenient, so that works. But you've also got another product that was at SEMA. So you had the can thing.
Okay.
And then you took the can thing further and made kind of like the buff thing. So walk us through those.
Well, we've got, we made the can thing because one of the big problems we saw was, hey, you're in the booth and you drop an aerosol can and it breaks the top off. It's a $15 can of trim black and it's ruined, right? So I started looking for solutions, and I actually started down the path of making one of these that held aerosols, and my wife got in the way of me, you know, spending all that money. So we backed up to the can thing, which is a magnetic, it's essentially a koozie.
It's
But it's
koozie.
got 2 really nice magnets on it, high quality magnets. You can stick aerosols in it, and the aerosol then goes right on your booth wall.
Or your toolbox,
Yes.
or your tool cart. The magnets will go anywhere.
Yeah, it holds aerosols, and it holds, maybe if you had a favorite beverage, you could put that in there as well.
That's kind of how I'm using them, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so yours all disappeared. I'm
Yeah.
not sure where they went. I think they're at the house on the grill, maybe. But
Maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, so that was the can thing, and then you know, recently, actually, from the can thing, it's kind of a funny story. One of the guys, Rob Paddock, from up in Michigan, he says, "Man, the can thing won't hold my Wizards bottle," or whatever he was trying to put his polish in there. And I said, "Man," I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I was at Subway one day, and I saw this LIFO bottle. So it's a bottle that has a cap on the back and a little valve on the front. So you load your product in the top of it, you screw it on, and you squirt it. So I started looking around. I bought some of them. I said, I don't know, I'm gonna send one to Rob. So I sent it up there, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." So problem with compound is when you use it and you dump it out and you set it back down, that dry stuff sits in that tip. It dries out, and then next time you go use it, it's like stopped up. So you're beating it, right? You're beating the heck out of your compound bottle. So this LIFO bottle we have, actually the compound sits on top of the valve, so it never dries out. It's kind of like turning your PPS cup upside down to keep the filter from getting dry. Same thing. So we started selling those, and everybody kind of laughed at it to begin with. That's the mayonnaise dispenser. I'm like, yeah, but it's the solution, right? If you want to buy them from me, you can. If you want to buy them somewhere else, you can. I don't care, because we just are addicted to solving problems. But the cool thing is that LIFO bottle goes in the can thing, and you can use that to take your compound, use it, squirt it, stick it right on your wall, right on your prep cart, keeps it all together. It's really cool.
Right.
So we just love it. It's pretty amazing.
Well, it's definitely a solution for all of the little problems. And in fact, if you have a problem in the shop that you haven't solved yet, well, shoot it to us, and let's see, Tim, if you can. Maybe that's our new, you know, instead of our "Where's Waldo" or "Does Mikey like it?" Can Tim solve it? we'll come up with all kinds of problems. Just tell them what the shops will send in to you.
So I get a lot of calls about stuff like that.
So besides the fact that you can get all of this stuff on the Collision Hub website now as well, where do they go to get more information about what you've got offered?
You can call me. Our website is collisionedge.com.
And they can find you on Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram is at Collision Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always on there, and guys are like, man, we'll answer any questions you got. We'll do the best we can to try to understand how to help you.
Yeah, so if you're having any problems in documenting damage in your photos, making your estimate story match what your photo story is, you're looking for solutions in your detail department with your painters, how to save money even on wasting some of these disposables or consumables, like we like to say, that go through the body shop, then check out all the Collision Hub tools. We use them here. We also use them in our consulting when we go in and work with shops. It's one of the first things we implement when we walk in the door, and we know that you'll see the great benefits of them. We'll see you next time on Cool Tools.
Thanks a lot.